I know I'm very late to the party as the holiday season is approaching us in just about a week, but I still wanted to take the time and talk to you about the 10 items that I would recommend as gifts for cyclists. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. The first item on the list is something that is very easy to give to someone because it's something that is very useful, and that is a handlebar bag. So something like this. This is from a brand called SIROKO, and this has an inner volume of 4 liters. So it's quite a large one. It has some embroidered logos on here, and it is very, very versatile. As you can see here on the B-roll shots, you have a lot of different mounting options, and you have a very, very large main compartment. So this is definitely enough space for when you go on a longer ride, for example, or a little bikepacking trip, that you have some snacks in the front, you have maybe your electronics, your phone fits in very well here in the front pocket, and you also have some great organization within the little bar bag here. The top features are it's very spacious, it has a lot of pockets, it has some internal organization as you just saw, and the build quality in general is just, it's great. It's a very sturdy material, and this one with the discount link in the description, I think you only pay about 35 euros. So compared to other options from Ortlieb, for example, this is quite a bit less expensive. So with that being said, I think this is a great entry into someone who wants to go on longer rides. With that out of the way, let's jump into the second item. Item number 2 is something I found randomly on the internet one day, and that I have since used on pretty much all of my rides to work. And that is this little Black+Blum insulated coffee bottle, or well, it's just an insulated bottle. You can use it for coffee or tea or whatever you might want. And as you can see, it is quite roughed up, but that is just because I really, really love it. So the internal volume here is 340 milliliters. So it's not that much, but for coffee, for example, I would say this is 2 good sized coffees for the morning. Yeah, when you arrive in the office and you need a coffee right away. This has a very satisfying mechanism where you can press the button, twist it open, and then you have a little nozzle here. And the great thing is that this is the perfect sizing. Actually, I think it's made for the bike bottle holders. So if you have a little bidon holder or a bottle holder, whatever you want to call it, you can just slide it in and it fits perfectly. It doesn't rattle around. It doesn't move at all. It never fell out of mine. And you can drink it on the go because the nozzle is so small, or you can take it to work. So as for reference, I commute about an hour to work, maybe a little bit less. And the coffee that I take with me on the way is still very hot when I get there. So even in winter times, when you just have it in the open air in your bike bidon holder, it still has a perfect drinking temperature. So the insulation works very well. Also, the price is quite reasonable, I would say, for this kind of build quality and feature set. It is 26 to 30 euros, depending on what shop you got it from. I will put a link down in the description that is from Amazon, because usually on Amazon, it's the cheapest price you can find for these little ones. But yeah, I can just say this is a staple item of mine when commuting to work. And I think to whoever likes hot drinks, either on rides or going somewhere, this might be a great little gift for them. So let's go over to item number 3. Item number 3 is maybe not a really fun gift to give, but it's something that is very useful for whoever rides their bike, especially in the winter time, and that is different bike lights. So these ones are both from AliExpress, from a brand called ROCKBROS, and these are smart lights. So the rear light, as you can see here on the B-roll shots, when you brake, the light lights up even brighter than usually. It has different lighting modes, as with pretty much all rear lights nowadays, but the braking feature is really what sets it apart. Also, what is great, both of these lights are charged with USB-C, so they are pretty compatible with all of the cables that are coming out in the near future, because that is pretty much the standard now. And with the front light, you have also different lighting modes. It is the version 1500D, as it says here. I think D refers to the mounting system, because this is the action cam mount, but there's different mounting systems available for purchase. This has also 4 different lighting modes, different brightnesses in beams, and also a flickering mode. This one is about 25 euros, which is a bit on the more expensive side, but I would also say this is definitely light that belongs in the sort of premium category for bike lights. This is not a cheap one whatsoever. The quality really reflects that. So I think both of these lighting options have great value for money, and I would definitely recommend. Also, again, a gift, you don't need to know any sizing of the person you are gifting it to. With that out the way, let's get to item number 4. Item number 4 is something that you either love to give or hate to give, and that is books. And these ones are 2 cycling related books from an author called Gaimon. He's also on YouTube. I'm sure some of you know him already. Both of these books are extremely wittingly written. They are a great fun to read. Pro cycling on $10 a day. A bit of a recapitulation of Gaimon's time in the pro peloton, and that is a really funny insight into the world of pro cycling if you are into that, or the person you are gifting it to is into that. And this one is just super fun. This is a collection of questions from a bike column of a newspaper. Very funny little questions and answers about cycling, pro cycling, but also, yeah, Gaimon in general. Really, really fun to read. Books are always a great gift to someone who reads. So these ones are not at all just a boring type of book you can give to someone. This is really topical. I will leave it to that, and we should go over to the next item. The 5th item on the list is something that hasn't been on the market for so long, especially when it comes to affordable options, and that is photochromic sunglasses. So photochromic sunglasses are usually sunglasses that are meant for sports and that change the level of tint depending on the intensity of UV lights they are exposed to. So these ones are, as you can see now, they're pretty much all clear, but as you can see on the B-roll shots, when these are exposed to sunlight, they change their tint quite dramatically. So these go from pretty much clear glass to normal sunglasses, and I especially love these glasses for commuting to work. In the morning it's usually dark, and in the afternoon when you go home you at the moment cycle pretty much through sunset, so it's nice to have some protection from the harsh light. And some of the photochromic glasses from the bigger brands like Oakley, I think they go from like 150 to 190 euros. This one is about 75 euros, quite a bit less expensive than the other options. The build quality is great. It's a very high quality kind of plastic that has been used here. It's also very light, so it's not really a nuisance on the nose whatsoever. Also easy, no sizing required. A bit more of an expensive gift at 75 euros, but let's go over to item number 6. And that is a heart rate monitor. There's different versions of heart rate monitors. There's like arm straps and chest straps. Generally, the chest straps are more accurate than all of the other options, also more accurate usually than the watches. And this is just a very easy and inexpensive gift for someone who you know doesn't have a heart rate strap, but really likes to go to more like the performance realm of cycling. For those people, it is really vital and really great to know in what kind of heart rate zone they are. Make sure that they don't over or under train. This one is a particularly cheap one. Cheap not in the sense of low build quality and low feature set. No, that is quite the opposite. It's a really, really great functioning heart rate strap. I have not had any problems whatsoever. And this one was, I think, about 12 euros, 12 or 13 euros from AliExpress. You can find the same one on Amazon as well. It's the Magene 303S, and you have a detachable monitor from the strap. It works very well. It's very secure, and some straps, when you cinch them down really tight around your chest over the training course, they loosen up a little bit, sort of lose this tight connection to the pressure points. But this one holds on perfectly. Great price, great feature set. It has Bluetooth and N+, if I'm not mistaken, and pretty much a no-brainer for someone who's performance oriented. Heart rate monitor, great item. Let's go to item number 7. Item number 7 is something that is, again, not very spectacular, but it is very helpful, and that is arm and leg warmers. So especially for the cold winter months, sometimes it's nice to have your joints a little bit warmer than the rest, and these kind of leg and arm warmers really help doing that. So if you look at the leg warmers here on the B-roll shots, the inside is fleece lined so that you have a little bit more protection of your knee towards the elements, and the arm warmer is polyester with some elastan. Yeah, both of them help you during the winter months to stay warm a little bit better. Also, these have both of them have a little bit of rain protection. They are coated with a DWR coating, and if it rains a little bit, it makes sure that your clothing below stays dry. So these ones are especially great for days where you have to stay flexible. Maybe you live in an area where the temperatures change quite frequently, just like here, for example, in the Alps. If you go a bit higher, it might be nice to have the option to have a little small ball in your pocket, for example, and then be able to get a little bit warmer when need be. So also not very exciting, but very useful to someone who's cycling in the winter time. And if you know someone who could use something like this, make sure to check out the links in the description. And with that being said, let's go to item number 8. Item number 8 is something I have been holding off for quite some time when I started to get into cycling, and that is a small cycling computer for your handlebars. This one is the Coospo CS500, and what a cycling computer allows you to is to have all of your stats on the right, so you don't have to pull out your phone, look at your phone, especially when riding. That's super annoying. You can just have the cycling computer in a dedicated mount at the top of your handlebars and then just look at it from that way. This one has the additional feature set that it can also navigate your ride, so you can upload GPX files and you have the proper navigation on here. You also have the possibility to connect this bike computer to other sensors. So for example, I always connect it to my heart rate strap and my cadence sensor, but also you can have a speed sensor and a power meter attached to it. But this one is a very, very good one from AliExpress. And what I really like about this is that it has a full feature set. So as I said, navigation, tracking of different monitors, see all of the stats, there's different customizable pages, and all of that is available for about 55 euros, if I'm not mistaken. The prices on AliExpress change quite frequently, but if you compare to, for example, the Wahoo Element Bolt that I've been using for a long time, that one was, I think, 250 euros. So this is a fifth of the price with, I would say, 95% of the feature set. Maybe the screen is not as great as the Wahoo one. Maybe it doesn't have the colors, but really this gives you all of the basic functionality that you need. This is also rechargeable via USB-C and also connectable to your computer, so you can update the firmware. You can also do that over Wi-Fi. But in general, this is a very inexpensive entry item for someone who maybe has put off getting a bike computer for himself, and now you just want to show him or her how great it is to have one. Item number 8 is something that is less unusual. If you have a friend or a family member who cycles, you probably have thought about that, and that is a cycling jersey. This is a bit of a more difficult gift to give to someone because you obviously need to know the size of the person, but still, you can never have enough cycling jerseys. It's always nice to have a rotation. This one is from a brand called SIROKO, as you probably have seen from a couple of items before on this list. But what I really like about it is that this is a really great quality jersey for a very inexpensive price when it comes to cycling jerseys these days. For example, this jersey goes for, I think, around 40 euros, but SIROKO offers jerseys from 25 to 70 euros, so there's definitely something for everybody. All of them are really great quality when it comes to manufacturing, and they all have the zip pocket feature, as far as I know. At least all of the 4 I have do that. You have 3 pockets, as is pretty much standard on all of the cycling jerseys. The fit of the jersey is also really great. I have been wearing this quite a lot. It really hugs your body in a way that some of the performance jerseys do as well. The back here has a mesh sort of material, so the sweat evaporation is also great. And with that being said, let's get to the last item on the list. And that is something that is not really cycling related, but sort of. That is a coffee maker. This is the Aeropress Go variant. And the reason why I put it on the list is that I pretty much do not know any person who cycles that doesn't enjoy coffee here and there. And the Aeropress Go is an especially great item for taking it along on longer days or on bikepacking trips. I've done that a couple of times now. And that is because you have a collapsible coffee maker that you can pull apart. Then you have this little pocket thingy where you have your filters in. And then with that, you can just create a coffee brewer on a go. Just need a camping cooker to get boiling water, and then you can have freshly brewed coffee on a go, on a ride. I know this is not really related to cycling in and of itself, but it is still a great gift for someone who likes coffee and likes to be on the go. And the great thing is about the Aeropress Go is it is only about 40 euros, and for 40 euros you get exceptional quality coffee. Yeah, that is the last item on the list. And with that, that concludes today's video. I hope you've gotten something out of the video. If you did, please consider liking or subscribing. And in any case, have a great week. Bye bye.